Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. This is the Christmas report, the In Deep on the Delta weekly fishing report for December 19th. And the next time I'll be talking to you will be the day after Christmas. So I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. And remember, we talk about fishing here an awful lot, but the important things are your family, your health, and staying safe so you can come out and enjoy the rivers and the lakes and the places that we like to recreate in. So Merry Christmas, and we will see you guys next week. I'll have a short report this week. I have some important information, so we'll make this quick, and then we'll let you guys get back to your family. Number one, the mussel situation. A lot going on, not a lot that has come down as far as policy. After I do the report today, I'm going to go up to Sacramento and I'm going to have the opportunity to talk with Steve Gonzalez and one of his, actually his lead biologist for the golden mussel situation. Steve is the information director for Fish and Game. We'll do an interview, and I'm hoping to clear up a lot of the questions that a lot of you anglers may have out there, and we're going to use science-based information. This won't be doc talk or hearsay. So be aware that I will be coming out with a video with Steve Gonzalez, who is the information director for Fish and Game, and they will give us some information that I think we are needing right now. I also talked with Nick Davies. I hope I got your name right, Nick. I met Nick about a week ago. Nick attended the class for the decontamination team. Nick might be on that, having one of the jobs of going out and checking your boat. And I thought a lot of the things that Nick said were really interesting. So Nick and I are going to get together. We're going to do a little video, and Nick's going to be able to give you the information as far as what the inspectors are looking for, how they're going to go through your boat, how you should get ready, knowing what needs to be cleaned, the whole scenario of the cleaning and what you need to know about the cleaning and detoxification of your boat. And that we'll have those two videos up hopefully in the next week or so, and I think that's going to be important information for everyone that's going to be boating here in the next throughout the next several months anyhow. So with that, let's get into the report here. And I forgot my cheat sheet, so I'm going to kind of go off the cuff here. But the Delta is let's not start with the Delta. I just got off the phone with Clear Lake Outdoors. I talked to Dave up there, and Dave reports that the lake is in good condition. Water's a little murked up a little bit. They had some pretty severe weather up there, but the lake is fishable. Water temperatures have dropped below 50 degrees, so the largemouth bass have been a little slower. Crappie is on a tear. If you guys are going up there to fish for crappie, the crappie bite is really good. And he said, the bass are still there. You just have to look for them. And I suspect, I didn't ask him about this week, but I know last week he said forward-facing sonar is really important. So I'm taking for granted that if you've got forward-facing sonar, you got a pretty good chance of catching fish. If not, it's going to be pretty difficult. I also asked him about what the requirements were to get into Clear Lake as far as the mussel, and he says it's pretty much status quo. So you guys that go up there, you know that you're going to go in, they're going to check your boat, you're going to get a sticker if you don't already have the sticker, and then that you will be allowed on the lake. One thing I did ask him is, if you say you're up there on your way to the lake from Stockton, Sacramento, Fresno, wherever you're coming from, you got the boat clean and dry, and you go through a rainstorm or it rains. I asked him about that, and he said, yeah, that's something that they encounter, and they'll want you to. They'll still do the inspection on your boat, but if you talk to them, let them know what's going on, you're going to get a pass and you're going to get to go on the lake. He does suggest if you did do your boat cleaning, dried it out, take a few pictures so you have that, so just so you can show the people at the launch. And maybe if you're on your way up there, stop at the nearest gas station to your launch ramp, just get out, maybe wipe down the bilge a little bit, maybe drop the motor, make sure that everything is as dry and clean as possible. But more than likely, he said, you go up there, you're gonna get in unless you just have some kind of ridiculous situation on your boat, which most of us bass guys and fishermen keep our boats fairly clean. So that's the word from Clear Lake Outdoors. What's going on out here on the Delta? It's been a slow week. There's not a lot of people out fishing. I come down to Paradise Point 2 or 3 times this week. No one's in the parking lot today. There's usually either 1 or 2 boat trailers in the parking lot. And I know one of the guys that's out there, he's strictly fishing for panfish. So that's something that, we haven't talked a lot about. I know he's catching a lot of panfish. If you want to catch panfish out here in the fog, more power to you. That's a hardcore guy. But anyhow, not a lot going on out here. Water clarity right here at Paradise Point is about 2 to 3 feet, and it's not a chocolatey color, but it's not the kind of color that I like. It's a little more brown than the green, but it is definitely fishable. We were out at the Bass Hole tournament on Sunday, and I do have a review or a tournament recap if you haven't checked that out. I got to interview a lot of the guys that came in, and the story, I think 19.5 pounds won it with about a 6.5 pound kicker, 39 boats, and the bottom line was there was probably maybe half of the field came in with a limit, a small limit. A lot of the limits were between 7 and 10 pounds. There was a lot of guys that blanked out, and the word of the day was there is no pattern out there. Even the guys that won the tournament and did well and cashed checks, they were bouncing around. They were throwing everything from A-rigs to jerkbaits to worms to, there was a couple of frogfish caught, a couple of topwater fish caught that I talked to people about. Just slow. Some guys were slowing down, some guys were speeding up, but the fishing, all in all, was tough. Like I said, we have water temperatures that are about 48 to 50 degrees. Water clarity can vary from, I'll say, 2 feet to 8 feet, depending on where you are. But for the most part, the last couple times I've been out, it's been about 2 to 3 feet, right? In the central delta, Paradise Point, King Island, down by the port in that area. But there are areas, especially in the backs of sloughs, that you're going to find some clearer water. I knew I was going to forget something today, and I surely did. I forgot I had an interview with Rob. Rob from out at the Bass Hole. Rob's got some ideas on what's going to happen out here in the next week or so. So let's check out this interview with Rob, and then we'll get on with the rest of the report. All right, Rob, you're the special guest once again here. Fishing's been tough. You had your tournament last week or last Sunday, and talk about what you think is going to go on the next couple weeks. And we'll just say that the water temperatures now are going to be below 50 degrees pretty much for the next couple months. What do you foresee coming down the pipe?
It all, for me at least, it really boils down to water clarity. Mm-hmm. If we get these heavy rains rolling in the next couple weeks and this river gets really, really muddy, it's going to be a little bit more tougher to catch them. If it stays calm, we don't get the storms rolling through, I think the fishing will be good. We're already in that 48, 49 degree weather temp. It could go down to 46, maybe a little bit more, but I don't think it will. It all depends on that weather. If the weather stays strong, the bite will stay strong. It'll get better.
The bite has been all over the board. Do you think when we have 48, 50 degree, that water is close to 46, 48, you think they're going to slow down? We're going to have to slow down to catch fish, or what's the deal?
I don't think it's more of a yes and no. It all depends. It all depends what you come across. If you come across a school that's feeding, that's ready to go, you can catch them fast. If they're lethargic and don't want to do anything, but they'll eat, if you get it near them, you're going to fish it slow.
And you also mentioned water clarity. For the guys that are coming out on the weekends, they say they put in at Russo's or wherever they put in. Is it your opinion that you fish local and fish it hard, or do you run around till you find that water clarity that you're hoping to find? Let's say we got 2 feet of visibility here. Should you be running out to find 3 or 4, or should the average guy that may not know the Delta like some of these tournament anglers, should they stick local and just try to grind it out, or what's the strategy for those guys?
It's tough to say. Me, typically, if it's a foot, 2 foot of visibility, I'm okay with that. I'm not okay with that chocolate milk. Can't even see the head of the trolling motor. That scares me. You're needle in a haystack, in my opinion. Yes, the fish will eat, but you literally got to put it on their head.
Right.
So I'm going to run around and I'm going to look for that cleaner water, that 3 to 5 foot visibility, crystal clear if I could find it. But that's what I'm going to look for, and that's where I'm going to focus and fish, and I'm going to move fast and find them, and then I'm going to slow it down.
And the bottom line is, guys, this time of year, you don't always find them.
Right.
Just because you move
spend the
around
whole day
doesn't mean you're going to find them. It's going to be tough. Rob and I will be sticking with you. We're going to do an A-rig video here coming up pretty soon, and we'll get you guys dialed in on that A-rig, and it'll catch fish throughout the winter, and it'll catch a lot of stripers. So, Rob, any parting suggestions for anybody coming out in the next week?
I would be throwing that A-rig and that underspin right now.
All right, that's what I'm going to do tomorrow, and I'll let you guys know how I do on it. So thanks a lot, Rob, and we'll see you at the shop soon. You guys have anything coming up as far as sales or anything?
I think we're doing a thing with gift cards here coming into the holiday. This next week we'll be doing a little clearance on gift cards. I don't know the details on it yet, but we'll have something up on the website and in store. So if you're looking for last minute gifts, come on down. We'll take care of you.
All right, let me know when you get that information. I'll hit you guys up what you got going on the next report.
10-4.
All right, Rob, we'll see you.
Thank you, buddy.
I want to thank Rob for that interview, and with that, let's get back to the report. So that's what's going on with the largemouth bass. Stripers haven't got a lot of reports. I know last week Jeff Suhu was saying, it was the water conditions out around the Sacramento just weren't feasible to fish for stripers. I know we had some really bad weather at the start of the week, and the river is kind of rebounding a little bit. I talked to Joe from Core Fishing. Joe hasn't been out, but he's talked to several of the people in his group, and nobody's really put a whole lot into the striper fishing this last week. There are reports that in the Port of Stockton, now the Turning Basin, it is loaded with bait. So as Joe and I were talking, we're kind of thinking, if you're going out of Ladd's or Paradise Point or maybe King Island, neither one of us decided that we weren't going to go out, out to Frank's Track or go out, down to the west. We might just head down to the Turning Basin, check out all that bait that's in there. If there's plenty of bait, there's going to be stripers in there. But with that being said, a lot of the guys that were fishing the bass hole tournament did report catching stripers on jerk baits and faster moving baits, A-rigs. So they're in here. It's just that there's not a lot of interest right now, and the river's kind of rebounding as far as clearing up a little bit, and a lot of the vegetation, at least what I'm seeing here around Paradise Point, has pushed out. So we might have a little clearer river, coming up the next week, and maybe for you guys that are fishing after Christmas. With that, there's one other thing. Fog. Man, it has been foggy in the morning, so be careful with the fog. And I'm talking about the kind of fog that you can see maybe 1 or 2 boat lengths in front of you. That fog is not safe to go in. If you get out to the dock and it's pea soup fog, hold off a little bit. So far this year, the heavy fog that we've had in the morning has rose, and you can still go out and fish safely. I remember years ago when I was fishing, there seemed like weeks and maybe months at a time where the fog would come in on the Delta and it just wouldn't leave. It was just a dangerous place to be. If you're going out, remember there's kayak guys out there, there's fellows out there fishing in small aluminum boats that may be anchored up somewhere, and there's other bass guys out there. So just be really careful and make sure you're safe. It's only a couple months down the line, and we're going to be into some good springtime fishing. So with that, I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, and I don't think I'll be seeing you out here on the river this week, but if I do, say hi, and until then, good luck, and make sure you send in your reports whether you catch them or not. So we'll see you guys next week.